It's
Well,
like
we.
really the perfect weather.
Oh, that sounds nice.
I know.
So,
It is it was quite windy up to for the last 2 3 weeks, but really the last 2 3 days were fantastic.
and
How's the
are you?
weather in Canada?
Oh, we're having such a lovely day here. It's a really good day.
A
It's
really good day, huh? Like swimming
yeah,
weather.
absolutely. It's like minus 33, minus
Oh,
33.
awesome.
So if you take a cup of hot water and throw it in the air, it'll freeze before it hits the ground. That's how cold it is.
Yes, it is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Ach, lekker. No swimming for today, I guess.
no, no, not today. So we are all very happy to be inside.
Ach, shame. Ach, awesome. Yes, I can just imagine. I'm actually happy for you too. I will literally, I don't think I will survive that weather.
Well, you get used to it, So, and as Brian
L-
says, and I see Brian's on the line, Brian says it's just another 9 weeks, and then we should have
Okay.
some. You should have a bit of warm weather coming in. So,
Ja, lekker. I guess it's a lot of hot chocolate. A lot of hot chocolate.
absolutely.
Oh, awesome. Oh, this is really good. So, how many people are riding at the moment? I'm on my cell phone, so my screen is quite obviously small.
Yes.
How
Um,
many of you are actually riding at the moment?
okay. So, in terms of in the race, I think Paul will give us an update as to how many people.
Okay.
But if you just look at Zwift, there's a
Yes.
column at the
Yes.
bottom.
Yeah, I see the column.
And there's 19,000 people across the world that are
Okay,
riding,
I
but
see
not
that.
part of this
Oh,
ride.
this guy.
Yeah,
Yes.
but they're riding in other parts of Zwift.
Yes, that's correct. Okay.
But once Paul activates the race, then you'll see exactly how many people are part of the race,
Okay, that's cool. Okay.
and
Okay.
you'll be able to see all their names. And
All
yeah,
right. Oh, that's awesome. This is really cool.
Currently, that we should start seeing the first rounds of join meetup buttons appearing on your screen about now. If they don't show up,
Yes.
that's okay. That's just how it works. Continue to wait. The button will appear in the bottom left corner of your screen. At the
Okay.
last resort, 5 minutes to 9 or 5 minutes before race start, you should hopefully see the join meetup button for sure.
Okay.
For those who are participating.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
Awesome.
mine has not shown up, so I will probably be able to join at 5 minutes before start time.
yeah, same here. I haven't
Yeah.
seen that button yet.
Yeah, me neither.
It's
Good morning,
probably, I
all.
can,
Terry
yeah.
here. I'm in.
oh, good.
I got the join meetup.
Yeah.
Okay, I just got it. Hi, Terry. Welcome.
Hi, morning. Or good afternoon to our friends across the world.
Yes, I just wanted to say it's quite late on this side. It's definitely not a good morning. It's a good afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm extremely glad I don't have to start riding a race now. Oh, lekker.
Okay, so on Facebook, you should be able to see us sitting at the side of the road,
Yes, I can see that.
and you'll see some of us are still on trainers, like
Yes.
turbo trainers,
Yes. Warming up.
and
Warming up
yes,
zone.
all warming up for the race.
Yes. Oh, this is so cool.
And
Hello,
so,
hello, all. Gerald here, sitting in not minus 33.
Good morning. Well,
welcome
good afternoon,
to
Gerald.
Hello,
welcome,
Lenore. Hello,
Gerald.
Regan. Greetings.
Hi, good to hear you again, Gerald. Thanks for joining us.
Fantastic well, what an amazing thing. I mean, this is a year, exactly a year to the start of our last TransCape real ride, and here we sit. How amazing! How incredible! Well done.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for coming. So, Gerald, I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of Paul, because
Paul.
he knows all the riders and he knows where they come from, and he'll guide you through the screen and the race as well. Okay, and I think Wayne will join you as well.
Yes, I think he is going to. Yes. Hello, Paul.
Well, hello there. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Very good, very good.
Excellent.
Lovely to be part of your virtual community. Fantastic, and for you guys to be
Thank you.
part of TransCape's journey. A very special one. It always has been. I'm sure you've heard.
Yes, I've followed Regan's adventures as he's participated, and it looks amazing.
It's more than amazing, but this will be a real, very, very different form, which I think everyone's looking forward to, and perhaps we'll get more and more as we move through the stages over the next couple of weeks.
So for everybody that's on Discord listening in, the first round of Join Meetup buttons has already appeared on the screen. But don't worry if you haven't seen yours yet. It will show up sometime between now and 5 minutes prior to the race start. Make sure your chains are lubed and your fans are on. You will need it. Also, make sure you've chosen a mountain bike or a gravel bike for today's event.
Yeah, what's the
spirit of the TransCape?
Yeah, what's the consensus? Gravel bikes and mountain bikes for today's ride. What would be preferable? We'll soon find out.
Truly, it's a personal choice. A personal choice for the event today. However, if you're looking for the best possible performance, choosing a mountain bike, I'll give the secret away, will be the fastest setup for today. Let's hope by default everybody does have a mountain bike in their Zwift bike garage, virtual garage. So no one should be at too much of a disadvantage. They should be able to select that bike before the event starts by going into menu and your garage.
Well, we had Regan riding a gravel bike with us last year on the real TransCape, and it was a fantastic. I think he was the first rider to come along and ride with a gravel bike, and he made it.
He also mentioned he's never going to do it again.
Yes, I was going to say it wasn't perhaps the best the choice. So hopefully Regan's on a mountain bike today.
Oh yes, definitely not mountain bike today. That gravel bike was not maybe the best choice. So,
funny. Hi, Gerald. How are you?
Hello, Lenore. Very well, thank you. Fantastic.
It's Elmarie.
Fantastic.
That Lenore's not on yet. It's
Oh, Elmarie.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
How are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm very well, thank you. And where are you situated at the moment? Are you in Durban or in Stellenbosch?
No, in Stellenbosch, in bakingly hot, windy Stellenbosch. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you might be in Natal.
No, we did that only last year for 6-7 months, and then came back here in August.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, welcome back in the Cape.
It's lovely. At least it's dry.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. We've had lots of rain up at the top there.
Yes. Eloise is looking after the north.
Ah, okay.
So just for those that are not familiar, I'll just take you through the settings on Zwift. Just go to your garage and choose your appropriate bicycle there.
and Gerald are missing that small cup of coffee this morning.
I beg your pardon?
I said those little cups of coffee, I'm missing them.
Who's
Since the
that?
start of the race, right?
So due to the weather here in central Canada, Saskatchewan, we've had a flurry of registrations over the last 12 hours. So today we are at 79 people
Wow.
registered.
And
Yep.
what's the weather like there, Paul?
Oh, right now it's beautiful and I think it's sunny outside. I'm in my basement.
Yeah,
So I
sunny.
can't quite tell. Sunny, minus 33. And if you include the wind, it's about minus 41 with the wind chill. So your skin will freeze in less than 30 seconds.
Oh,
Paul, you guys are warm. We're minus 36 with a minus 48 wind chill here in Saskatoon.
There you Yeah, Saskatoon. Yeah.
It's
Saskatoon
worse.
is 200 kilometers north of where I am. So they're always a little bit cooler. And then we even have people on the phone north of that who are probably colder as well.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
some-
similar here in Prince Albert. You bet.
What are you at Barry?
We're matching Saskatoon pretty much.
Yeah. Wow.
Good day for Zwift.
So we should have the next prompt to join the meetup in about 30 seconds.
Hi, it's Wayne in South Africa.
Hi,
I hear
Wayne.
all your cold there. I've literally just come off the beach. So I just spent a couple of very sunny hours on the beach. So I can.
don't rub it in, Wayne. Don't rub it in. Now you
Oh.
Gerald. Yeah.
Oh, Wayne, we don't feel sorry for you. That's for sure.
Regan, well, I don't feel sorry for you guys either. So
Now we get why Regan decided to come spend 2 weeks in South Africa at this time of year riding the TransCape the last couple of years.
Absolutely. And you can see why I'm so disappointed not to be there in person, but
Yeah,
so thrilled to be at least riding with everybody online. So that's great.
it's amazing. Fantastic.
How are you, Regan?
Hi, Lenore. Thank
How are
you.
you?
Thank you. It's nice and cold today, minus 33
Good for you.
in Saskatoon. So I think it goes down to minus 38 this evening. So
Oh
nice.
my word. I think
As
we are almost exactly the opposite. We are
Yeah.
plus 30 today.
Oh,
Yeah, we have to get our rides done very early in the morning here because it does get a little toasty later in the day and you don't want to be caught out in that. So we're out in Jonkershoek this morning at 6 o'clock. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just bragging now. Sis
Just
girl.
thought to, I'll just throw that in there.
Yes, it's a bad brag.
Yeah, it's not unpleasant.
Have you done the ride this morning, Gerald?
Yeah, I did this morning. It was absolutely beautiful. 6 o'clock, clear, beautiful, cool. But now, as you know, nudging the sort of mid 30s.
Yep.
But yeah, it's not. It's very pleasant in the early mornings.
So what are you actually doing this week, Gerald? You've got nothing to do this week.
I've got nothing to do for a long time. Yeah.
The last couple of years you were busy this week.
Yeah,
Now
absolutely.
we're alone.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is some wonderful compensation that it stretches over a month now, so we can reconnect over once a week. Would be fantastic. But yeah, it's very sad that we're not able to be leaving George, Neisler, wherever it might have been, and heading to Franschhoek and the real TransCape, which for me, my money is one of the very sad.
the area down here is looking so beautiful now, and the weather is absolutely beautiful. So we would have had a stunning start now. So it would have actually started today. Actually, then. So
Absolutely.
it's very sad that there's not a cloud in the sky down here in Georgia at the moment. So we would have had a beautiful week ahead of us.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's a new world we live in.
So be it. Yeah. All change.
Yeah, this is Albie. I'm in Saskatoon. We normally spend 2 weeks in Plettenberg Bay every February, and probably have for the last 9 years. And this year, yeah, not happening.
It's a beautiful time of the year to be there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, 1 minute, 30
Where you
seconds
based
till
now?
the start.
I missed that. Where you based now?
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, what was that?
I was saying, Albie, where did you say are you based now?
Saskatoon.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So are you going to miss your South African trip altogether this year then?
Altogether. Yep. Not happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunate.
Oh well, this is the closest you're going to get, yeah, at the moment. So I can only describe it for you outside.
No thanks. No thanks.
Hey, Wayne, you're not breathing very hard. It's not be warming up.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I said you're not breathing very hard yet. You must not be warming up.
I know. I'm. Yeah, in South Africa, not many of us have Zwift other than just on the screen. So not sitting in front of a mountain bike. So I've had my training for the day. I actually went for quite a long swim in the sea. So that feels like I've had a full body workout there already. So
here we go.
Right, Paul. Is there an official gun that goes off? Am I going to hear a gun go off?
9, 8, 7, 6, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The 2021 TransCape HPL virtual tour is underway. Welcome to it all. Fantastic. Look at you go. A little lead in, a little bit of tar to lead in on the ride, and then you'll hit the gravel and the dirt, and then we'll see who's picked the right bikes and been doing the training. I know that all you guys and girls in Canada have been doing a heap of training indoors and on the virtual platforms like this Zwift, so I know you'll be in great condition. I don't see any of our South African riders here, but hopefully we'll gather some as we move on. Wonderful to see. The mountain bikes are coming to the fore there. Blair's looking good on his mountain bike, one of the HPL cyclists. And the breathing's already started. Hell of a pace heading out here. And a little group on the front already. Tyson going well from Toronto, Tyson. It's cool. I don't know if you're there now. Neutral zone, eh, Wayne?
This is still seems like it's supposed to. Normally we leave TransCape out every day on the neutral zone. That is maybe about 2-3 k's long, sometimes a little bit shorter. Nothing of that today, Gerald, definitely.
I know.
I had to wave at the end of the neutral zone now either. So these guys are straight out of the blocks at full steam. And they beat the dirt track here already by the looks of it.
4 away, 3 mountain bikes and one on the gravel bike tucked in neatly.
Hey Regan, I was expecting to see you up front there.
Here they come. They're all coming. That just took a little bit longer to warm up. I think the lead-in is around 6Ks, I think it is.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. It's a sort of figure of 8, isn't it? It's a you do the Mayan Bridge section back and forth, I think, in 2 different directions. Beautiful scenery as well. There it is.
All right, Gerald, I've taken care of some of the noisy mics. You should be clear.
That's lovely. I like to hear them. You know, as a commentator, you never sit inside the race. Now you're sitting inside the race, and you can hear the efforts. It's really cool.
Yeah, Paul, it's actually very cool to hear the effort going, you know. So I don't think I need to be too worried about muting too much.
Okay.
As Gerald says, it's really cool to hear them actually. You feel like you
Let's
see it
do
on
it.
screen and hear them going.
It's cool and it's cruel.
Oh, that's cool.
There you go.
Fantastic.
Kim McKechnie going very nicely as well. Yeah, he's a regular. I know you guys all ride very often together, I've noticed, which is fantastic. It's such a lack of community. How the pandemic has brought us all closer together in many ways, not seeing each other, but yet being able to meet up on these rides so regularly. It's amazing. It has broadened the cycling community. I know the cycling community in this country is exploding, and I think the hunger for real events is just being fed by riding all these virtual events. And so hopefully this time next year, Wayne Lenore will be putting our feet up ahead of our evening function at the end of day 1 of the TransCape.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got, you know, it feels that it's like bittersweet. You know, you can't do the real thing, but it is very exciting to at least have quite a few guys join us for the virtual one, yeah, and to hear them breathing away, and maybe to, you know, if it was stage 1 now, and they'd be going up, you know, with this kind of pace here, they'd be nearing the contour roads just above George, where sort of the first gravel section would have started out on the Outeniqua Mountains, which sort of just to the north of George, that splits the garden route from Klein Karoo. And it would have been nice and hot by now already. There would definitely been a sweat breaking out on the guys by this time. And it's sort of the first tricky part where, Gerald, you'll remember, not in last year's race, but the year before, where one of our regular riders already had a big fall on that first section and cut himself right out of the race within the first half hour, which was quite sad. And but it's
yes,
something that
I tell you what, they're going at a cracking pace here. I rode that first section from last year's start up Montague Pass. Tell you what, I think I would have been way out the back of this little group. Some very, very strong riders here. Very good to see.
Very good. We have a good group around myself right now. Going uphill.
Paul, are you in the first group?
No, I'm not. Not a chance.
Blair, Tyson, Kim, all their regulars, no doubt. Going beautifully.
Yeah, of course, on on the real TransCape, when we hit the first incline, we hit straight out of the first section of Georgia, which is the famous Montague Pass, which is one of the historic passes in South Africa. And when you sort of head north out of George, it's your first big sort of coming out of the blocks on TransCape, and it's one of those that really gets the legs loose. And for those that are going to make it out here hopefully next year, you will certainly enjoy the ride up the Montague Pass. There's a rich history there that Gerald's done some, he's done some digging into the old past toll gate structure that used to be up there in the past, and we always had a nice story. I don't know if you can remember, Gerald, the different toll booths you had to go through and the different tolls you had to pay going over there in the olden days. Can you recall the fee structure that they had?
I mean, they unfortunately, sadly, it burned down, didn't it? And then they rebuilt it, that beautiful toll. They used to have to pay per wagon wheel as they went up there in the late 1800s, up Montague Pass. And yeah, it was an old pass that was built by convicts back in 1844. Not very old, I suppose, globally, but by our standards, that's pretty old. It's one of the oldest non-tarred passes in the country, and it is absolutely spectacular. They had to pay a penny per wheel and a penny per ox. So, if you were dragging your ox wagon up there, obviously 4 pennies for your wagon. But if it was a heavy laden wagon and you had a span of 18 oxen or 15 or 16 oxen, you were in for a fairly hectic toll. In those days, a penny. And we've continued that tradition on TransCape, haven't we, Wayne and Lenore? Fantastic initiative over the years, just collecting some cash as the riders ride past the toll gate, dropping some cash in. Their generosity has been amazing over the years for the various outreach programs that TransCape's been associated with through the years, which makes this TransCape so special. For those riders who perhaps aren't that aware, it is not just a 7-day journey from the Southern Cape, Niza, George area to Franschhoek and the Winelands. It's a soulful journey. It's about connecting with the communities. It's about connecting with each other. And a small event like this really does do that in the most amazing way. And so people along the route will be looking out for us, no doubt, as we get to Greyton and Riversdale and towards Swellendam and the like over the next week. Traditionally, and those communities would be really geared up to welcoming us. Unfortunately, they're not this year. Let's hope we'll be able to be enjoying their hospitality next year, because that's what it's all about. Jason Thomas is there as well. Jason, all part of this lead group. Nice to see you. Gravel bike, suffering a little perhaps in these conditions. The mountain bikes look as though they're the weapon of choice.
But speaking of gravel bikes, I recall that we also had a rider north that rode a gravel bike who also suffered the bit.
Yeah, we had one that chose the wrong bike last year, and one of my memorable stories of last year, and I'm sure that Megan won't mind me recounting the story there, but so actually, TransCape is really a mountain bike race, but we do have long stretches that are open gravel roads, and but every day pretty much has a very significant section where anything less than a decent mountain bike is not recommended. So although it's not overly technical, it definitely does make life a lot easier. So up features Regan from Canada with a gravel bike, and but he's a very experienced rider. I was a little bit skeptical in the first bit, but it was something that got used to quite quickly. But there was this incident that I have to tell with Regan So on stage 2 is a really long, fairly flat section through the Klein Karoo. And for those that don't know South Africa well, the Klein Karoo is really a special part of the country. And it's something that's very different to the Northern North areas. And you traverse these completely different worlds throughout the Transcape. But on the second stage there, I was riding, because I done street riding in last year's event, and I was on an e-bike, riding right at the back and shepherding some of the back guys through the field. And stage 2, about probably 18 kilometers into the stage, we hit one of the other big passes on Transcape called the Royberg Pass, which is probably about a close to a 10K climb. Average gradient probably between 6 and 10% in various sections of the ride. But what makes it particularly tough is that it's exceptionally hot out there. Plains Karoo is a place that you can get into the mid-40s. And as we were approaching the mountain in the distance, you come along this long, fairly flat road, and you see the Royberg Pass looming ahead, and you are riding in 45 degrees. And by that point in time, Regan's lovely wife was also on the e-bike, had long abandoned me. And I was with Regan right at the back, coming through one of the streets. And we are getting up, coming closer and closer to the foot of the beast there. And I could see Regan sort of slowly fading on me there, and I was trying to sort of calculate, you don't want to mess with the man's pride, just tell him, maybe I should try your bike out, So I thought I'll be sort of subtle and say, hey, and I was kind of figuring it out in my head how I'm going to slow to Regan that maybe we should switch bikes, because I don't think he's going to get over the mountain. And I sort of started off quite tactfully with,
This is the
hey,
time Regan mutes his audio.
Regan, you better listen. This is you, buddy. And I was sort of tactically floating it up and saying, hey, Regan, I've never ridden a gravel bike in my life. At some point in time, I'd actually like to give that gravel bike of yours a little bit of a go, And my words were still coming out of my mouth when it was just dust next to me as he was braking. And he literally just jumped off his bike and said, all right, take it. And so I said, okay, now, right, that full attack wasn't really necessary. Regan was right for the picking there. And he probably jumped on my e-bike. And that's the last I saw of Regan for the day. So I know Regan's gravel bike very intimately, as I took it over the Royberg Pass at 45 degrees. And that will be one of my very endearing memories. So thank you for that, Regan. This is fun.
As I recall, Jermaine, I think, was on an e-bike in last year's event, and we had quite a few e-bikes with us. It was wonderful. We could have made for some interesting post-ride discussions in the Arons lodgings every night as to who's going to take which bike.
Definitely.
Jermaine wasn't going to give up the e-bike, that's for sure.
Jermaine pitched up with the e-bike there, and what made it so fantastic is you'll recall Gerald it was Jermaine's very first mountain bike event.
Absolutely.
That spent a lot of time on a bike, she did not spend a lot of time on a mountain bike. But you see her progress throughout the week was quite phenomenal. So, really enjoyed it a lot in the end as well. So, e-bikes on TransCape, very welcome.
Yeah, I mean, Wayne, I think that the beauty of the event, I mean, as we're watching these incredibly strong riders hammer along here now, it really is just under 10.5 Ks gone of a 19K actual race, 26 Ks, I think is the total distance the guys will be riding, a significant amount of climbing. But the characters and the personalities we've had over the years, Billy Stelling winning the event, I think in 2016, we had some real pros, HB Kriya, Stuart Marais, Anko Kachloffer, that lot in 2018. Yuki Ikeda came from Japan, one of the top riders in Japan. He rode in 2018. And you remember the trio of wonderful women we had? I think it was 2016. Esther Sus, Sharon Laws, the late wonderfully gifted and wonderful personality Sharon, and Catherine Williamson joined us in 2016 and showed us exactly how to ride mountain bikes. They were amazing then. Nick Ligier in that first year, 2015, the Belgian, he brought his team out and won the event and brought great flavor and character to our evening presentations every evening with his dissertation on the day's ride. Vic Williams, where's Vic? We should have Vic with us.
We should have. I must.
Vic Williams is a. We've got a lot of stories about that character. Definitely.
Yeah, I think Vic is very much an outdoors man. I don't know that we would ever see him getting on a virtual trainer. You know, things might go pretty awry if he does. Now 3 rides together here. I think that Blair is away up front. Blair Draid up, but I think these 3 are keeping a nice close eye on them. Oh, we're still way to
Gerald,
go.
do you know if we have Vegas with us on the right?
Vegas, I think Vegas is with us. Vegas, Gregory Wilson is with us in Saudi Arabia.
I'll make sure, making sure nobody's sneaking on the back.
You and Regan keeping each other company, Vegas.
Vegas, it's so nice to have you. Gregory Wilson from. He spends most of his life out in Saudi Arabia, but he's actually from Vegas. So looking TransCape, yeah, he's very affectionately known just as Vegas. So I think he's ridden all but last year's TransCape. Am I right, Joel? In 2019, yeah. I think he's done 4 in total.
Yeah.
4.5.
Vegas, am I right? 4.5. 4.5. Maybe we can recount the story of the half. This event also happened on stage 2 of the very first TransCape.
First one, yes.
And as someone recalled in those years, we still it took us a while to figure out the perfect balance of TransCape. You know what it should be in terms of toughness on the bike. You know, the on the bike experience. Because we travel through such amazing places, you tend to put in some areas there that afterwards you realize was maybe not the correct ones to have in. So in this particular one on the very first event on stage 2, we went over a mountain called the Hamkaberg. And the Hamkaberg is Hamka Mountain in English, that way. It's an exceptional mountain to go over, but it's really rough, really wild up there.
Not even Volkswagens go over the Hamkaberg, but Wayne thought it would be a good idea.
No
to take mountain bikes
bed,
over there.
yeah. No Volkswagens even over there. It's really rough.
That was a great idea, Wayne.
That's where Greg Vegas came to grief on the descent. He claims a stone jumped out in front of him, and he came over, and I think it was the handlebar that stuck into his upper thigh, and had quite a bad internal bleeding there. So he had to abandon the race, sadly, and we lost him for that year. But he was promptly back the very next year, and slammed it, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. That was one of the most extraordinary days of the TransCape folklore will go down. Dinner, I think we were sitting down to dinner and riders are still coming. It was about 136 Ks or something, Wayne, wasn't it? And an enormously hard day.
It was just short of 140, and it was again exceptional heat on the day as well, and to top it all off, there was a west wind that came up towards the end as well, and so everything conspired against us. But yeah, Gerald, we learned a lot, huh? And so first year we learned a lot of how to get the balance of the ride right, you know. And it takes a bit of trial and error. So the last couple of events we've managed to get the balance of the ride
Absolutely
actually
right.
to a very nice sweet spot where we have it now.
So Vegas, thanks for being one of the guinea pigs for that first year.
Oh, it was all fun. Even though my leg turned into a watermelon.
I just want to tell you guys, I am.
Yes. Who was that?
This is by far the most chilled Transcape I've ever had in my existence.
Marie, how's
Yes.
dinner going? How's dinner going? How's it looking?
All I can say is it is like, hello, I can't explain to you guys how much fun I have at the moment. I'm literally standing with a glass of wine in my hand and I'm watching Transcape. No stress, no fights, no worries on this planet. And I hope everybody's extremely happy with their accommodation tonight and with the food on their plate. All good.
Yeah, it's an extraordinary event, the Transcape. For those, most of you, I think, I'm not entirely sure, but it looks like we have about 8 on the entry list, 8 or 9 riders who've been actually with us. Adam Grieve, I don't think Adam's with us here. Wim Vermeer from Belgium. Brendan, who has, I think, did 2 years ago. And the Aussies, Stuart and Damien, I don't think are with us. It might be a little bit late at night for them to join us. But Stuart Cathcart and Damien Ingram were with us a couple of years ago as well. Great characters as well. I see they also entered for this event, but hopefully they'll join us in the weeks to come. But it is an extraordinary event.
In the middle of the night down in Aussie, what's the time there? It should be like
yeah, they're getting their beauty sleep, those two Aussies, I think.
It should be like 1 o'clock. They're probably just coming back from the pub now. That's why they're late.
What's a pub?
They might be coming back from the bar there.
No,
in Australia, I don't know if they allow that at the moment.
No, yeah, exactly. But this is social distance riding at its very, very best. Yeah. So it just is amazing how we've brought these people together from all over the world, small fields. And I think that Wayne and Lenore have got that right in many ways. I know that big fields are, lead to, obviously there's more cash involved and there's all sorts of other benefits of having a big field. But having a field of around 100 riders really does lend itself to a wonderfully intimate vibe. Everyone gets to know each other over the week. You share the shuttles to and from the accommodation, and you get to really get to know the event, the people who run the event, the people who ride the event so well. And I think that's a secret. I think that the Transcape has kept well and keeps it going. I think that the intimacy of the event is so important. So long may that continue in the future. But
absolutely, it feels like Transcape can't be that without that sort of small field feel, Gerald. It's definitely become a feature now. So I can't picture Transcape doing anything else.
No, absolutely. And we've got 100 odd riders. I know 79 today, but if all of you guys and girls decided to come and join us, you have to. There we go, Vegas.
Hey, watching Great Wall Preliminary Road.
You're waiting for Wayne and the e-bike behind you. He's not there, I'm afraid.
I was waiting for Wayne because I wanted him to eat dust again.
I remember the last ride with you when I done the stage 1 was about 3 years ago, Vegas, on the Nice Knuckle George stage 1 there. We had a fantastic ride that day. You stretched me to my limits that day, man. I was duly impressed.
Yeah. Those small cups of coffee in the morning, I'm telling you.
Oh,
You
shit.
know
There's nothing.
that's the mystery, right? I always ask that. How come the better the coffee, the smaller the cup?
Yeah, we've been always been very spoiled by Seattle coffees along the way. They've been there virtually
Vim,
since year one, huh?
Vim
That's right.
Vermeer. Hello, Vim.
Hey,
Nice to see
boom.
you from Belgium. Wasn't sure if you were with us. Lovely to have you with us. Yeah, another wonderful support of the and other events in South Africa. The Belgians love coming out to ride, and Vim, we've had a wonderful collection of Belgians over the years. Great supporters of TransCape, from Nick and Vim and the like. So yeah, fantastic to see Vim still going strong. Vim. He's no doubt on either his gravel or cyclocross bike. It's cyclocross season in Belgium now.
Shouldn't be cyclocross bike there.
Various bits of gravel they're dealing with very well. Big V Vernon from Joburg.
There we go.
Well, I tell you what, here we are hosting TransCape with HPL Cycling, which is absolutely wonderful. But it's a South African event, and we've got precious few South Africans with us today.
I think I was telling Paul in the weeks leading up on the more point to them, in South Africa, because we're so spoiled, because riding 365, it's an eye opener for us, because we are not, we're not used to big communities getting together virtually to ride, So when we joined HPL on one of their virtual rides about 2 weeks ago, it was quite interesting to see, because it's just something that we just so not used to, and especially for us living down here on the coast, it's just so spoiled right throughout the year. You can just jump on your bike and go ride. It's so we're not used to this virtual thing, so it's a new world for us. It's really.
Yeah, I think it reached its peak when for a time during the early part of the pandemic, South Africans weren't allowed to exercise outdoors. So there was a great rush on smart trainers, and Zwifts really dominated, and there were a lot of races. They've carried on, but not nearly as popular now in South Africa, now that you can get outside and ride. Absolutely.
It's funny, even Gerald, in those first couple of weeks of the hard lockdown we had in South Africa, down here we very quickly learned that because we were allowed to go to the shops, you're allowed to go out in the day and go and do your shopping. We kind of quickly learned that if nothing prohibits you from going to do your shopping on a bike. And there was also no rules against going to do your shopping at a supermarket like Serpentine. So we dressed up I learned to cycle with a full backpack of milk and bread and everything. So and that was
we became very creative.
Exactly.
Jeff cutting Vernon there, and
Paul, have you worked your way up to the front already?
Sorry, what was that?
I say, have you worked your way up to the front of the race here already?
Oh, please. I'm a middle of the packer. Lifetime. Actually, I'm not too sure where I am, but I can tell you I'm 18 kilometers in.
18 kilometers in. It looks like, well, we're watching someone here now that looks like they are just close on 20 k's in. Oh,
with a large group of Canadians.
Blair going beautifully here. Really, really strong.
Yeah, so you can see Blair's putting out 4.2 watts. He's still the strongest of all the riders. And just behind him is Kim McKechnie, and then Dave Bitchie from Victoria. And behind him is Ed Bilsner, and we'll just try to go down the line.
Spectacular route.
I think it's getting a bit messy because the lead riders are now lapping some of us slower guys on the second round.
Okay, yeah. Kim and Dave just lapping one of the slow riders.
Just for interest sake, what's the average temperature, not outside for most of the Canadians, but what do you make the average temperature in the room that you're sitting at? Is it something that you kind of try and mimic a little bit of what's happening outside, or do you have some heater on, or what's the average in-room conditions there that you try and mimic, or is that not something that you give much attention to?
Somebody just went past me going the wrong way.
I'll be here. Most of us sit our houses inside between 20 and 22 degrees Celsius. So we're actually warmer here in winter inside than you guys are there in winter. Growing up in South Africa, it's always colder in winter there than here. So warm houses and working furnaces are great.
How long have you been over there, Albie?
Am I muted or not? I don't know. Anyway, I've been here 28 years.
Oh, okay.
In Canada.
Okay.
In Canada.
Closing in on 35 minutes. 20 Ks of riding at the moment. For our front markers, Ed Bilsner going nicely. Nice. Over those boards, the bridge is spectacular, that.
So Blade Rider is still 2.5 minutes ahead of Ed.
Okay.
And he's followed by T. Dick, Dave Bitchie, and McKechnie. So Ed Bilsner is still fifth, followed by Brian Zakowski.
Good job, guys.
Fantastic. These guys are amazing. Clearly very, very committed cyclists.
We've got a rider from the Philippines. I think he's in sixth place. De La Ross Ray.
Yes, he's racing from the Philippines tonight. It's after 10 p.m. there.
Well, welcome. Fantastic.
Oh, well done. Nice.
Big effort.
Then we've got our local star, Jason Chaz, and Alex Ryback.
Reagan, you should introduce everyone to the beauty of Saskatchewan hills.
Oh, I think I told everybody in the TransCape, our city built a hill for $90 million. It's about 90 meters. And so we're all very happy about it. So it's used in the winter for snowboarding, tobogganing, and they've got lights in it. They've got a little cafeteria to buy stuff. So it's just perfect. But other than that, you don't have any other elevation.
Is that the hill you were telling me about, Regan, that was purpose-built?
Yes, a purpose-built hill in the city. Just to encourage our people to stay in Saskatchewan and not go to Alberta and all the other places to snowboard, so they can do it all year. There are some hills outside of the city, but they're usually a half an hour to an hour's drive, sometimes a bit longer. So this is ideal. That is right in the city.
Okay. Now you're going to need your hill training for TransCape for the proper race. Those that are hopefully going to be joining us in the fish next year. Between the Garden Route where we start out here in Georgia, where we end up in the Cape, in Cape Town there's many hills to cross. You know, so we do a couple of famous lines throughout the route, and there's a lot of the famous mountain ranges all along the route that we crisscross quite a number of times. So getting a bit of hill training in is something that we need.
Oh, come on, be honest, Wayne. There's plenty of hills, and then there's more.
And we've
hills.
had a flat tire in the crew. Jeff sounds like Jeff Hine from Saskatoon has a flat tire on his trailer. He may be out.
Okay.
We'll see how fast. We'll see how fast he can change his tire.
Can you actually get a flat tire?
Yes. In real life. Real life. Yes.
Okay.
Too much power, too much heat.
So it's sort of badge of honor if you get a flat tire.
Oh, sure it is. Yeah.
Generating too much wattage there.
So we're watching one of the Italian riders.
The Nazi.
Okay.
No, he's also not.
Yeah, Paul, do you have any information about our Italian friend?
Nothing I can read right now. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Is it starting to go blurry in front of you then, Paul? What's it? You trying to catch up there?
The mist is descending over the race. It's gone very quiet. I know it's starting to get to the deep end now.
So we've caught up with a trio of Kelly Kudrick, Christian Tan, and Bob Holtzman, sorry. And just in the back, you can see a pillar of light.
Yes.
That's actually Paul. Paul is the leader of the race, at least the race event organizer. Yeah, event organizer. You can see him in the background.
The pillar of light is fading, Paul.
I know.
So Paul is Wayne. Okay, so he's on the.
Unfortunately, I got dropped.
Yeah. Well, you see, Paul, if you come out here and you ride this event, and you curry favor with the right people, you could get an e-bike. Because apparently some of the organizers ride around on e-bikes here. So
this is what I've heard.
Might be useful.
That was one of those things where you planned for one thing, but I think it was by stage 4. I think I'd ridden 5 different bikes, 5 or 6 different bikes over the first 4 or 5 stages of the race last year. Each guy jumping on the e-bike, so I was supposed to ride an e-bike shooting at the back, but that didn't last very long. So the worst thing of that is not the different bikes that you're riding and the fact that you're not even riding on your e-bike anymore. It's the 4 or 5 different saddles. Over spending a week on a different saddle, even 2 or 3 different saddles per day, that adds up in the rear end. So,
I bet it does. I bet it does.
So I was with that group of folks for 42 minutes. And I
Well
knew
done.
from the start that I was punching a little above my weight. So I'm very happy with that so far.
So, Albie, there you go, looking very spiffing and flying along. Good stuff. Now, Marco Finazzi, in fact, is one of our riders from a couple of years ago at the TransCape. He and Giulio Dino Lodovico joined us and actually did really, really well. And we had a pretty good international field that year. Damien and Stuart, the Australians, were with us. Bignew and Pavel, the Poles, and Marco and Giulio were with us. And Marco joining us again here on the virtual event as well. So fantastic. Still supporting TransCape, and hopefully can bring some more of your friends and riders out from Italy, Marco Finazzi.
Definitely.
So just to help you navigate the screen, the top left-hand corner is the watts that Albie is putting out while he's riding. And then if you look at the right side of the screen, there's a -2, which tells you that his gradient is -2 or -3, so he's going downhill. And there's a map of the route that he's following. You can see the elapsed time, altitude climbed, and then the total distance completed, and then his average speed.
Okay.
Cool.
So we're going to try and see if we can get back to Blair Drader. I think he's probably coming through for his second or third round.
At this point for me, I'm just going to my race now that I've done my work and hung as well as I could. My goal now is to settle into a nice time trial pace and finish it off.
Nice, Paul. How tough is the route, Paul?
It's deceivingly hard, being split about 50-50 climbing and descending.
Yeah.
On a gravel surface. It looks not very difficult, but it 100% creeps up on you.
Yeah. Tell us about Blair. He's one of your
yes,
A-riders at HPL, eh?
That's true. Blair is from Esterhazy, Saskatchewan. He is a high school teacher, and he is a great cyclist. Superb volunteer for the community, doing lots of fat biking, grooming, mountain bike scene, fat bike scene, road, running, everything. A great all-rounder with a lot of power.
Yeah, clearly. Paul, now that you're cruising, I take it you're just getting yourself home. In terms of mountain biking in your area there, Saskatchewan, I mean, obviously, Regan has illustrated that there are not a lot of mountains, but is it quite a, once you get the right season in summer, is it quite an active environment? You've got a lot of people who get out there and ride, and do you have a lot of events?
Yeah, we have a pretty solid cycling community in Saskatchewan. Mountain biking is important in the province for sure. We do not have mountains, but we have valley systems.
Yeah.
So we have extensive trail networks in valleys, which works wonderfully.
Yeah.
So short, punchy climbs.
So just to clarify, those are valleys along the rivers.
Yes.
Yes.
Got these huge rivers running through the province, and the valleys are precipitous. So
drop in and climb out. Yeah.
Yeah, really good, steep,
Typically,
hard riding. Very
typically
technical.
about 90 to 100 meters of elevation.
Okay.
On average, from top to bottom. So very flat. We can do a 100-kilometer ride on a road bike and maybe get 200 meters of elevation. And those are from overpasses.
Oh, my word.
Talk about the wind, Paul.
Right, but
Ah,
we
yes.
may not have mountains, but we have never-ending wind. So you go for a ride, and essentially the entire ride is a mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and wind is a gee whiz, wind is sometimes a lot more heartbreaking than a big mountain. Because,
The invisible mountain, yeah.
it's an invisible mountain, and it always feels like you're going slower than you should be going. And it's mentally, sometimes I find it tougher than going up a big mountain. So at least that'll keep you mimicking some mountains.
And how does land access go there in terms of mountain biking, getting out and riding through private and public lands? Is it an issue?
Most of our mountain bike systems are built in government provincial park type land, crown land. So it's you can just come and go as long as you have a park pass.
Uh-huh. So it's fairly organized in that sense. Eh?
Right. Of course, there are a lot of other trails, private trails, but majority of people ride in well-maintained trail systems.
Yeah. There's another one of your members, Ian Loughran.
That's correct. Ian is in Saskatoon. That's correct. Yeah. One of our Masters Development riders. Good day. He's got himself on a nice structured training plan this winter. Seeing some great gains. Yes. Excellent fellow.
Good man.
For interest's sake, Paul, do you have one of those the what do you call it, like on your front wheel that mimics the slope you're riding on? Do you have one of those, or do you just stay flat?
I just stay flat, yes. Those are called kicker climbs, and they simulate the gradient of the road.
Yeah,
unfortunately, I do not have one of those.
And do most of the guys use the kicker system, the kicker trainers? Is that the most popular one?
It all depends on your budget. There's I would certainly say a lot of people do have kickers of some variety, but Tax is also very popular, as well as Elite equipment.
Okay.
So we're watching Anna Valenti. Anna Valenti.
Oh, Anna, excellent.
She's a young lady from Saskatoon, and her main goal this year is to take part in what they call randoneering, which is ultra distance riding events. I think it's crowned with a ride of 1,200 kilometers at the end of the year. So it's I think you get 36 hours or something to complete that. And so she's busy training for that.
She'll be well trained for TransCape in February 2020.
Oh, yes.
Anna, I have to thank you, Anna, for all your help with helping us set up our live streams for this series. Thank you very much. A wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, so Anna's very well versed in live streaming. She's got thousands of fans and viewers across Asia, Europe, and North America. And she's currently live streaming this on her own channel.
Wow.
So although we have a few viewers, but she's got many, many more.
Fantastic. Yeah, thank you, Anna.
Yeah, thank you, but I didn't get to do my hair.
You know, racing in Zwift is very important that you find your group and stick with it. The draft effect in Zwift is large. For instance, I'm putting out the same amount of power as the group that I was dropped from, yet they pulled a 50-second lead on me. So if you can find someone to ride with, you do it.
How does that work, Paul? How do you maneuver into the back of someone there? Or does it sort of just when you're coming up on the island, automatically start to in, or how's that work?
How does the draft work?
Yeah, how does the draft affect with that? Because the guy in front there, can he just flag down and let you go in front again? And
yeah, so when you're in a draft, it basically, just like real life, it reduces the amount of watts you need to put out. So I would say it's roughly up to 0.4 watts per kilo you save in a draft. Okay. So that's a huge savings.
Okay, so that mimics it quite well then.
So we're going to give Amy Richter a ride on. So ride on to these little blue buttons, blue thumbs, and hopefully we'll see one coming down in about 10 seconds. There's a bit of a delay on that.
A little bit about Amy Richter. She's from Regina, Saskatchewan, a member of HPL Cycling. A very strong female cyclist, very, very strong. Also working on a structured plan this winter, which is going to take her to a whole new level. And last year she was collecting Strava QOMs like candy. So, so this year, watch out. It's going to be a whole new level. Very strong.
She's
sitting behind Daniel Fuller.
Yes. I think that was actually Mark Griffiths, because we've just moved over to him. And
Mark Griffiths. Mark Griffiths is another real beauty. He's from Bragg Creek, Alberta, in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains.
Originally from Britain.
Yes, originally from Great Britain. I think maybe I can't remember where in Great Britain right now, but ex-military. He's been all over the world. He's about an hour southeast of Banff, Canada. A real gentleman, real great guy. Strong cyclist, mountain biking, road biking, well, a little bit of mountain biking. Very proud to have him here today.
I mean, most of you are obviously very committed riders. Obviously, road. I mean, would you say most of you are road riders who do a bit of mountain biking, or other way around?
I think that the majority of the people here, that would be the case. But you know, gravel is a huge scene in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
So gravel is extremely popular and growing. So lots of us dabble in all three.
Yeah.
And fat biking too, like tons of fat biking.
Fat biking, yeah.
Okay.
Rock? What do you say there? Rock biking?
Fat bike.
Fat biking.
Winter.
Oh, fat biking.
Winter cycling. Yeah.
That's something that Gerald, that's not something that didn't quite take off in South Africa. One or two races where the guys could use it on the beaches where they went. There's one or two races where that would be, but it's sort of never really took on yet.
Yeah, I think that those are very specific for conditions. I think they use them in the snow there. Is that right, Paul? They'd be quite popular in winter in the snow.
That's right.
And yeah, on the beaches are where they're best here. But yeah, it just hasn't really got on yet. They're hard work in a normal mountain bike route. Wow.
Their best experience on a groomed trail. So a couple of people in the ride today, Jeff Hine, Saskatoon, and others, very instrumental in building the fat bike scene in Saskatchewan.
Okay.
We need a lot of props.
I'd call out Brock Campbell, Larry up in Red White.
Yeah, Brock Campbell. Yeah.
And Blair down in Esterhazy.
Blair and Esterhazy.
Yeah. Lots of effort put into those trails with mini snowmobiles called snow dogs stuff.
So what's the sort of? I mean, not great to go out riding today, by outside by the sounds of it. But I mean, what sort of temperatures would you go out and ride outdoors and do training rides in at its coldest?
Fat biking, guys go out -30. You know,
Yeah.
crazy, but I stop at -20 with wind chill. It's my own limit.
Yeah.
I was going to say most people -15 would be absolutely no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
-15 on the cyclocross with studded tires.
Okay.
41C in Saudi Arabia in the sand.
41.
41.
Vegas bringing us a little bit of the desert
Yeah,
heat.
we use an opposite. Beautiful in the sand.
Yeah.
I'm +2. +2 and I'm done. Too cold.
That's Ed Dilsner. Ed Dilsner should be in Hawaii right now, but is not.
Hence the +2, yeah.
Ed rides a tandem, so he's got it easy.
Yeah, my wife does all the work.
I think the top temperature we measured last year on TransCape, one guy claimed that he measured 49 on the Weiberg Pass.
Yes, I recall that, yes.
Yeah, but then mine was hovering between like 45, 46 up there. But I say one said his measurement went up to 49. So yeah, that's our record on TransCape. It's not like that every day, but that's certainly will get. I'll certainly break the worst cold of Canada if you come out and cycle.
It can get pretty spicy, yeah, definitely.
I think traditionally our warmest day is stage 4, I think, Gerald, where there's the town called Swellendam when you're going to there, and it's sort of an area that's just known for its heat and humidity that time of the year. And when you get a real spicy day there, you can get not only low 40s, but with the humidity factor there, which is quite different to the other side of the mountain in the Kankura, where you just will get a blazing sun. So when you add that humidity of that area, that becomes really so that's where we get some real hot weather out on TransCape.
Yeah, about 120 degrees Fahrenheit for those of you over there. But I mean, that's one of the things, Wayne, I think that makes TransCape so special is the huge variety of terrain and weather, with the coastal ride through the forest and then into the dry harshness of the Klein Karoo and then back over to the Overberg region and then into the wineland. So it's so varied. It really is, I think, a wonderful example of everything that South Africa has to offer, particularly in this southwestern Cape, Southern Cape area. And
I mean, if we think, Gerald, the variability we've had, where from one day you could be out in this blazing mid-40s type weather that we're speaking about, and a day or two later, you could have one of those cold fronts sweep in and have some rain, and you're out there in a jacket in quite cold, not rain or something, but it's still in the lower, in below 10 could be 5, 7, 8 degrees, and soaking wet. So we've had those days as well, which so yeah, the variability, you get a slice of everything.
Yeah, I remember to Swellendam, we've had rain coming in and leaving. Last year, I think we left in driving rain going through Swellendam. It did ease off after a while, but yeah, heavy rain.
There we done. Yeah, no, well, last year it was stage 5 in Swellendam. We literally started in rain and ended in rain. So it was 100 k's of solid rain, and but funny enough, and I done that whole stage as well last year, and it was actually very pleasant riding. Funny enough, it wasn't too cold. It was, you soaking wet after the first couple of miles, and then you just sort of ease into it, and you surf home all the way, basically.
Yeah,
So
some muddy.
Something interesting.
Absolutely.
Just to give you an update, so Blair Drader is currently at 37.5 kilometers. And I think he's probably got about 11 kilometers to finish. And he's followed by Dave Bitchie at 37.0. So Dave is about 700 meters behind. And then,
Oh, come on, Dave. Go, Dave.
and then,
Go, Dave. Catch him.
And then Kim McKechnie is about another 400 meters behind. And then Ed Bilsner is another kilometer behind. About 3 minutes behind Blair.
Okay, so at least there's a bit of a race up front there, but Dave's got it sewed up here.
And are these the guys regularly battling it out at the front in your rides?
Yes, absolutely.
How's about a good time to put that ring fencing thing on? Isn't it? Oh, it's done all the hard work to catch up.
Oh, I'm just working hard right now.
Or doesn't it work that way? You can't put the ring fence feature on
Normally on the rides, it's a lot more bunch riding. So sometimes they can keep up with Blair. But I think with this mountain bike, it's just so hard that Blair has just blasted the whole field apart. So that's why everybody seems to be quite strung out.
I'm really hoping we can see Blair on TransCape next year then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There's at least a 30-second interval between each of the top 5 or 6 riders.
Who's the leading lady rider at the moment? Do we know?
I'm just going to try and see here. It's a bit messy, unfortunately, because the riders are all doing their second lap, so I can't tell you offhand. Sorry.
Okay, no, it's fine. Of course, in true TransCape tradition, there's a massive prize fund up here. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands.
That's wonderful.
Of kudos.
Bitcoin, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Bitcoin.
It's again. I mean, I think that's again. Whilst the racing is serious, and we have guys who come out and race every year, and that's what you expect. I think over the years we've always seen such great camaraderie between the front guys and girls who are racing it out, and there's never an issue. There's no prize money. It's just a beautiful journey and a wonderful way to challenge one another and to get to see the country and to get to be part of this beautiful journey.
Yeah, and to add to that, Gerald, the thing, and that's why, we were talking about the route and how we changed stuff up earlier on. The first couple of years, it used to be a lot harder than it was today, but to find that perfect balance between, what's a very tough on the saddle experience there, but to not break the guys, because the off the bike experience is the other half of TransCape that's as big as the on the bike experience. So,
absolutely.
So we ride hard, but then after that, it's play hard as well. There's every night there's an evening function, and Gerald always usually entertains us at these evening functions, and they are as an integral part of the whole week-long experience that you have there, and the food and the wine from our sponsors that we have normally on TransCape. There is something that long after the pain of the rides are forgotten, that's what people remember, especially those evening functions, and that's where these lifelong friendships have been made. And I think that's what a few guys from all over the world even join us for this ride, which is where those real friendships are formed.
Yeah, no, it's a very special thing, and you know we've got to be aware. For those of you, I'm sure you are aware, even wherever you are all over the world, that we've had a really tough lockdown in South Africa with a lot of the hospitality venues. The hospitality industry has been severely struck by the lockdowns, and many won't survive. Many haven't, and many won't. But hopefully, all those that we visited over the years through Knysna and George and Swellendam and Riversdale and Greyton and up to Hohoken, of course, and Franschhoek. Hopefully, they'll up and running and ready to welcome us next year. But yeah, it's been tough for them, that's for sure. And let's hope they survive, and these events will come back and they'll be able to welcome us.
Absolutely. I mean, one forms such good friendships with a lot of these partners all along the way over a number of years. So it's always bitterly sad to see them struggling in times like this, because they literally make their life off a lot of events like TransCape and other, of course, other tourism activities all throughout the area. So yeah, they are an integral part of TransCape. We really do hope that they get through this whole thing, and we can all connect up again next year. Absolutely.
Wayne, have you given any thought to? I mean, I know it's a long way away. It's exactly a year, but you've had lots of time to give it some thought in terms of the route. Is it? I know last year, I think there was general consensus you found that sweet spot. You're not going to deviate too much from that.
It's trust me, it's an ongoing talking point. It's something I spend a lot of nights thinking and sleeping about. There's two parts of getting the route the way you want it to be. The one part is having that sweet spot, as you say, of a really tough but doable ride every day, and how the whole experience goes. And the other part of it is because the off-the-bike experience is such an integral part of what we have to start and end in places that can accommodate us, and give the level of service and the level of hospitality that we do on TransCape, because we don't just camp out in the middle of nowhere. We keep the off-the-bike experience, a very luxury experience. And so the guys are sleeping in nice beds, and it's really good food, and it's everything that goes with high-end hospitality side. So that does limit what you can bring in on the route and how much variability you can bring in. But we have been working on a couple of changes. Yes, so there certainly will be one or two changes in 2022 from the old route, but not that much. Not that much. I think at some point in time we were considering doing it in reverse as well, and I'm sure we're going to do that at some point as well. But most of the route will stay intact, but we've managed to really, get. I must say, in times like these, you get to meet people you don't normally get to meet, and one or two of them along the route have some fantastic venues, which allows us to change a bit of the route to go to these venues. And a little bit later on in the year, as soon as things open up a little bit more, although South Africa is opening up quite nicely already, we're actually going to have a short 3-day event out at one of the areas that's fairly close to George, that are looking forward to welcoming us there for a 3-day event. As soon as we know when we can have it, we'll be posting all the details on that. And,
wonderful.
The main event will be going through there in 2022, definitely, because the terrain really lends itself to some fantastic riding. The overnight accommodation is fantastic, and what's more special about the 3-day event we're looking to put together there this year still is it's in a big 5 game block. on the garden route. So you will literally be riding and seeing big five, you know, or at least you stand the chance of seeing big five, you know. So, so we're excited to bring out some.
Very special. It sounds very interesting.
So yeah, no, we hope Donald opens up in the not too distant future, because I'm sure a lot of guys sitting in Canada would definitely like to short break over the side and make every day part of their trip. Are we in the home stretch here already, Regan?
Yes, so Blade Raider is just coming up to 12.2, 12.3 kilometers. And he's flying along at about 20 k's an hour. So we anticipate he's probably going to do it complete in about 1.5 hours.
Okay.
So you can see their riders going in the opposite direction, but those are still behind him. And still following him is Dave Bitchie. Dave Bitchie is at 43 k's. And Dick is at 43, and then Kim McKechnie at 42. Ed Dolson is at 41.
And Regan Aronson?
Regan is just at the start line. It's just about starting now.
I think we saw you twice already as you got left.
And our friend from the Philippines is just behind Ed Dolson. So there was a good battle between Brian and our friend from the Philippines. The guy from the Philippines is pulled away now, and he's catching up to Ed Dolson.
Yeah, I'm watching him. He's trying to put the play on me as well.
Yeah, he's really powering.
He's a strong rider. Enjoy your battle.
Yeah,
well,
but
I
from
got
what I
3.8 kilometers to catch me.
But from what I understand from Paul is that he was trying out for one of the professional teams.
Well, he's participating in some of the events on Zwift for a Movistar team.
Okay.
I mean, lots of people can do it, but man, he was flying. He also live streams his rides, so that's how I know. I was watching him for a short time.
Okay. Blair's been out there for a long time.
Say again?
Is Jermaine riding as well?
No. She's having a cup of coffee. Having a cup of coffee and a cooked sister. And so she's just chilling out.
Blair's got to be getting close.
Yeah, he must be very close. Blair must be very close to the end.
Yeah, he's at 45 kilometers.
Oh yeah, it's done at 46.
46, yeah. 45.3.
That's a good ride.
He's flying now, yeah. What's the total distance, Paul?
46.
46. Okay, so he's into the last kilometer. Would that be right?
Yeah, he will pass through a transparent blue finish line, and that's when he's done.
You can see it at the top of the screen.
Yes, okay, top right.
There's an archway across the
yes
road.
Coming up there.
And he's actually slowing down now, so
It's coasting home, Blair. Well done.
Yeah, I think he's going to be done.
I can see it looks like
and he's going through it any moment now.
So Blair Drader, who's going to win the first stage of the TransCape in association with HPL Cycling. Well done, Blair. Fantastic. As he's going to cruise under the arch and take the win. Fantastic.
Wow, excellent work.
And second, just behind him, we've got Dave. And then
Dave Bitchie.
Yep.
From Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Formerly from Regina, Saskatchewan, I believe.
Yeah, 6 years ago.
Dave, yeah.
Here comes Dave in second place, eh?
Oh man, this is
So-
a hard course. Thanks, guys.
So how does this rate in relation to the other courses you ride at Rotopia and elsewhere on Zwift?
This one is sneaky because of the gravel surface.
Yeah.
So it has a continuously harder rolling resistance.
There goes Dave. Well done, Dave.
Oh, thank you.
Excellent job. Hard day.
And this is our third place rider.
Tyson.
And he's just finished.
Well done. Tyson.
Great job,
Nice
good job.
And our fourth, Kim McKechnie is our fourth place rider.
So, lady over the line then.
That's our fourth place rider, Kim.
Kim in fourth place is also one of your regular riders, I think, Kim.
Yeah, he's participated with us before. I believe he's in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, if I remember correctly.
Regina is in Saskatchewan?
That's correct, yes.
How far is that from Saskatoon?
250 kilometers.
Oh, okay.
Approximately.
Yeah.
And here we,
Ed,
yeah.
I'm through.
well done, Ed.
Well done, Ed.
Big effort. This really did look tough. I mean, it's all very well for us to sit here and watch you guys, but it's clearly very, very tough. 46 Ks, hour and 20 minutes or so. That's a big effort.
That's right. And any ride you do on a trainer, you might as well times it by 1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ed,
How
put your
far
feet
are
up.
you for?
Have some breakfast. So I take it the other riders we're seeing are all riding the route at different joining at different times?
Yeah.
Are
So
they part of this event?
so once the winner has gone over the line, then all the other riders that are currently riding on their own become visible.
Okay.
So Paul had initially just blocked them all out, and so
Okay.
you can only see our participants. At the
Yes.
moment Blair crosses, the general traffic becomes visible.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I'm just trying to see exactly how many we've got. We've got 20,000 people on Zwift at the moment.
That's
Good
correct.
heavens.
In this world, yeah, and there's two other worlds.
Yeah,
At
so
least.
20,000 in Watopia. And
20,000 in Watopia at the moment. Not doing
Yeah.
not doing Serpentine A, the Serpentine.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Jeez.
And we're just watching Brian Zukalski come to the end of his ride.
Good
Yeah.
job, Brian.
Good job.
Well done, Brian.
First training ride for the 2022 TransCape done.
There we go.
Next
Paul, you
rider.
got my bike all dusty.
So our next rider through is Alex Ryback from Saskatoon, or Saskatchewan at least.
I believe he's in Saskatoon.
And he's riding with Jay Hancock as well. It looks like they're doing a bit of a sprint there.
Jay
Oh,
Hancock, I
yeah.
believe, is from Newfoundland, Canada, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Far east. Conception Bay South, I believe. I'm going by memory, so if I'm wrong, I apologize. I can't possibly operate my phone at this point. So you will have to accept
You're
my
forgiven.
memory. I'm too busy chasing another fellow Saskatchewan rider.
There we go. What
that-
pace are you guys at the moment?
We are at 41.5 kilometers.
Okay.
And there was Vegas. There's Vegas. Nice going, Vegas.
Hey, there's
35.8.
They're not sneaking off the back.
There we go. This is where your power starts kicking in. I've seen you virtually sprint the last 10Ks already in many a ride. So get out the saddle and push home.
I think our next rider is Lawrence Angelot. He's also from Saskatoon. I think he's going to be the next guy at 45.5 kilometers.
Lawrence may be from North Battleford, perhaps. Maybe that's Christian Town. I can't remember.
Couple hundred meters for Lawrence to finish a really hard day. This is a hard morning's ride for all of you. But it's done. The morning's done. And the morning ride. And it's the rest of the day when it's minus 33 or whatever it might be. Does it get warmer during the day?
A little bit.
In June. In June.
Yeah.
I think tonight is going to be minus 38. So it's going to get a bit colder.
Wow.
So an interesting fact about our motor vehicles is that we have to plug them into the electricity box to keep warm. And they've got a little heater in the engine that keeps the engine warm so that the oil doesn't freeze.
Wow.
So, because in the old days, if you started the car and the oil was frozen, you could break your block. So they have what they
Jeepers.
call a block heater. And it's recommended, or at least it's by law, if it's less than minus 17, you have to plug in your block heater, or else you will not be able to claim insurance on a broken block.
Good heavens.
Yeah. So you'll see lots of vehicles either just running on their own, just idling with the engine on, or plugged in just to keep them warm.
Jeepers. Seriously cold.
And when you start to drive at those temperatures, your tires are frozen with a flat spot. So it's kind of like driving on square tires for a few kilometers.
Extraordinary. I mean, those of us who haven't lived in that environment. Jason Horner looks as though he's finished.
I think it's D. Stewart, B. Turk. They are next in line to finish. And then Bob Holtzman.
Oh,
So Gerald,
Big effort going in there. Yeah.
Gerald, so did you do some race commentary with Ant Crossan at one stage? Anthony Crossan.
Yeah, I
at the
know
Rio,
Ant McCrossan, yeah.
at the Rio Olympics. Or?
He was at the venue.
Okay.
He was doing the in the stadium commentary at the track events, and I think at the others, yeah. And I was doing commentary on television, but yeah, he was there as well. Yeah. He's busy though. He's all over the place at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Very good.
Well, thank you for doing this. I enjoyed the commentary.
No, it's fun. I mean, this is definitely not a. It's a very different environment, but it's amazing to see. And as I said earlier, to actually, we don't often get. I know it's only virtual, but you don't get as close as this. So it's lovely. Thank you guys for arranging it all and for being so proactive and getting it sorted. I think really for the TransCape, for Wayne and Lenore to have this sort of initiative exactly a year to the day when the event was meant to take place, or it is meant to take place, is fantastic. So wonderful to have your contribution and your participation. Hello.
Did somebody get past in the sprint?
Getting a bit tense as we get to the finish here.
Seems like you are doing a sprint finish yet.
Yeah.
Vegas, you in the home stretch yet?
Oh yeah, right on the home stretch.
There we go.
No, I'm 8K out.
Full power home now.
Thanks all for that ride. That was awesome and really hard.
It should be. Well done. Fantastic.
So Vegas, will you be back next year?
In South Africa.
I'm not sure if
gravel is my thing.
What did you say? Sorry.
I'm not sure if gravel and mountain biking is my thing here. That was much tougher than the road.
Here we go, Paul.
So our next riders to complete are going to be Barry Otterson and Paul Cutting.
Come on, Paul, take him.
I'm watching 0.6K.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, good job, Barry.
Take care of those spinners.
Good job.
Yeah.
200
Good job.
meters.
Oh shoot! I've been snookered by my own event. Virtual finish line.
You thought that was the finish line, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Race brain. Race brain. There you have it, folks.
Yeah.
Oh, look at it. Oh, now he's leaving you in the dust there, man.
You too, Paul. Good job.
Yeah, thanks,
Well
Barry. Oh,
Oh, that Paul.
Good effort, Paul.
So our next rider that we're coming up to is Larry McCommon from Saskatoon. And Larry is a guy that does at least 100 kilometers a day.
Every day.
Every day.
Wow.
Winter and summer.
Wow.
All, I mean, clearly not all indoors.
No, yeah.
But,
I think from May until October is outdoors. The rest of the time is indoors.
what are his annual numbers?
Wow. Yeah, that's some serious case in the year, huh?
For the rest of you riding, do not start at the arch. Keep going a few hundred meters beyond the arch. Don't do what I did.
It's experience coming through there.
Yes.
Is Larry another of your Saskatoon riders?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
100
Larry,
Ks a day, every day. Wow.
yeah, so Larry rides predominantly with a club called Horizon 100, and they try and ride 100 Ks as often as possible. But Larry just does it every day.
Which is as often as possible.
Yes.
That's amazing. Good heavens.
And he's coming up at 45.6 kilometers.